Like some booty.
Like some booty.
Here we go. Back in the passenger seat.
Hey, welcome guys to another Drive-Thru movie. It's your boy Pink here. It has been a hot minute since we've been able to do one of these. Before we get started, as usual, if you could hit that subscribe button. We are seeing the numbers growing on the Facebook page, but we would love to see that translate across to YouTube as well. As usual, it's been a while actually. I am joined by Macintosh. We're off to see Tenet. You're a massive Nolan fan, aren't you?
I am. He hasn't made a bad film as far as I'm concerned yet.
What was the last thing you did? Dunkirk?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Dunkirk
So
actually.
did I. I'm never even a World War II person, but I came out at the end of that going,
yeah. For it being one of his shorter films as well, it managed to do what he normally does with the whole like separate stories kind of weaving together.
It always fascinates me with his films because it's always the manipulation of time.
Yeah,
Which
which, you know, this looks like he's taking it to the next extreme by literally being a film about time travel. So I'm like,
and I actually watched this trailer.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Wow, yeah, I can imagine.
A few times. All I know so far is something to do with time inversion, catching bullets.
Obviously we're big sci-fi guys, so
Sci-fi gimps.
Sci-fi gimps.
Yeah.
We like being tied up by sci-fi and having our butts whipped.
Stop. Make me blush on the camera.
I'll do a few secrets that'll make you blush.
Other than that, I don't really know much about it. I know they've got what's his name? He was in
Denzel
Baller.
Washington's son?
Is it Denzel Washington's son?
I think so.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah.
There's that
Robert
Pattinson.
Who's obviously kind of been billed for Batman, and the trailers for that have come
He's
out.
gotta be a good
I know.
Batman.
He's always really good.
I even ended up watching most of the Twilight films.
Yeah.
Can't remember the other lad's name, but
Taylor Lautner.
yeah, he needs to get his long hair back. He was so dreamy.
He was, and it hit his massively long neck.
Yes,
He's got a really long neck.
Who else is it? Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth
He's the bad guy, no?
Is the bad guy, and Michael Caine will show up at some point.
Oh yeah, no, Michael Caine
Is
is
he
in
in
it.
it?
Yeah, he's definitely in
He
it.
does love a bit of the Michael Caine.
He's literally been in everyone since Batman Begins,
Yeah.
hasn't
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, a lot of love for Nolan here. He's definitely one of your favourite directors.
he? I think he is hands down my favourite director, to be honest.
I'm tired, I'll admit, of Inception a little bit. It's kind of
We've watched the
over.
shit out of that.
I think everyone kind of kicked the arse out of it a little bit, and I don't give a fuck about that ending. I see articles popping up every now and again going, someone's said something new about it, and I still don't give a fuck.
I want to watch Dunkirk again.
And 1970, I know it's not Nolan, but just because we mentioned it.
I know, I still haven't seen that yet. Dude, I was itching to see that.
I liked it better than Dunkirk.
Really?
Like, I loved it.
Really?
I loved it. Beautifully shot movie.
Yeah, it's one
Like,
of
I
the
fucking
really
loved
want to see.
Anyway, Tenet.
Tenet. Still not getting out of the car first.
I'm stealing your phone.
Good, googly, moogly.
Mind fucking melted.
That
right now.
was amazing. I enjoyed the shit out of that.
I think I did as well. It's just always the same with time travel shit, isn't it? Once you start thinking about it, you're just a bit like, oh my
It's a
God.
whole new kind of way to view the whole time travel thing.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
yeah.
completely different to any other that we've been to see before.
I feel like we could sit and just actually talk about this film and no one would be any the wiser.
No.
Mental. So
The premise was...
well, yeah, so John Denzel Washington, never actually named in the film.
No,
just
he
called
wasn't.
The protagonist.
Yeah.
Wakes up to find himself recruited by
Tenet.
these people, that are kind of effectively trying to stop the world from ending. The future is attacking the present, and they're using Kenneth Branagh
To do their shit
to do
in
their
the
bidding,
past,
effectively. Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was epic. He's a very scary villain.
Yeah, like he played it with that kind of quiet menace.
Yeah.
So, like,
There were so many bits of... You know, I always kind of like things being lame and then seeing them revealed later on. That was like the ultimate expression of that for me.
I twigged to a couple of things quite early,
Yeah.
but then it's surprised me with so many more. Like,
But there's some bits that were unanswered
yeah,
by the end of it. Or are we? Are they going to do a sequel?
I don't know.
Pre-sequel?
It's a I'd like a sequel. Or,
I'd
yeah,
love a sequel of that.
a prequel or a pre-sequel.
Pre-sequel.
A
a squeakquel.
squeakquel. I'd like a squeakquel.
A sprequel.
A sprequel. I'd almost love a Terminator style future like part, like see what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
kind
See
of
it from their point of view.
Yeah, but
Like,
at the
what
same
the hell is
time,
going on?
I also wouldn't, because I like the
mystery.
mystery of it. Yeah. John David Washington, though, man, he's just like got as much presence as his dad, and I loved Robert Pattinson.
He was fantastic.
He was brilliant. Putting on his little posh voice,
Aye.
and do you know what? Like, if you wanted it to go back to the style of like Roger Moore, I would give him a pop at Bond after that.
Definitely. That would be a very good show.
Like, yeah,
Very good show.
he's got that kind of sophistication. But I loved their relationship.
Yeah.
He was like his river song.
Oh, but at the end, it was
Yeah.
the feels.
Yeah, I liked how you kind of realise where it's going,
Uh-huh.
as he does.
Yes. Aye.
And you kind of follow that through. They have these things called like temporal pincer manoeuvres, and they're like, those were the most mind-blowing parts of the movie, because you were having to see it from their perspective going into it, but also from the perspective of that they knew that going into it, they were taking intel from themselves in the future, having gone and done it without.
Basically, they're completing the mission by the time we've started our mission. But from their point of view, they're-
an hour from now they had this briefing.
yeah, an hour from now they had this briefing, but then we're going on our mission
going on the
based
intel.
on their intel.
But they've only got that intel because the guys in the future have come back to see what they did based on the intel they're about to give them. It's like, fuck the
Yes.
fuck. How did Nolan just think up this?
I
and-
can't wait to watch that again.
I feel that we'll be picking it apart for years, man. I can't. I've seen a couple of mixed reviews from people, not necessarily from critics or whatever. I haven't really looked up critic reviews, but a friend of mine said that he got bored and left, and I was like, what? But I can also see how like the complexity of it might just put
Switch
people
someone
off.
off to it, yeah.
I mean, you can follow it enough. You don't really need to think about it too much. But there's a point at the start where the woman that's explaining it to him is like, "Don't think about it, just feel it."
Yeah.
And I think if you're going in to watch that movie, that's
Do that.
probably the best advice.
Best advice you could get. Yeah. I wonder if it would be so complex on a second watch, though.
Maybe. I don't think it'll be as popular as Inception, though. I don't
No.
think that everyone will love it as long as they have Inception. But I personally enjoyed that way better than Inception. Took me far too long to realise that Ives was Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Did it?
Yeah. I was like, it took me far too long to realise that was him. Those three being the main sort of kind of parts in that film, they were all
It
brilliant.
was a really well played part. He did brilliant in that.
Anything else you want to say about it? Because
Go and see it.
yeah.
Just go and see it and enjoy it.
As we say, I can see it possibly being a little divisive. We've loved it, but
All of his films have been divisive, though, really.
yeah, probably.
You know?
I
But
suppose.
they have.
Yeah.
When you think about it. All
Yeah.
of his films have kind of... It's either love or hate with people. It's either people love them and they're like, oh, the mystery, oh, the wonder, I want to figure it all out. Or other people are just like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the mystery. I don't like having to figure it out. I want you to spoon feed me it.
We never talked about the music. Like,
Music. It was when the kind of big centerpiece kicked off at the end with the
Yeah.
piano. After I turned around, I was like, even the soundtrack's in reverse.
I hadn't twigged.
Did you
and
not?
and I need to listen to it again just to make sure you're right, because I
I'm
think
sure
you
it
are.
was because the piano it sounded like the fade out of a piano key came first, and then it was if you know what I mean.
I really hope it was, because that would be a nice touch.
Yeah.
It's odd that the music wasn't done by Hans Zimmer this time.
Wasn't it?
No,
Who was it?
I can't remember, but I just saw that it wasn't Hans Zimmer, and I believe it's not his normal editor as well, which is interesting. But it certainly had all the hallmarks of Nolan fucking music, the wobs and the me's and the me's, but it was fucking... one thing that I think made it harder to understand was they had a habit, and I assume it was deliberate, I don't know, but they had a habit of covering all the dialogue with either swelling pieces of music
Yeah,
or making everyone speaking behind a mask.
Yeah, there was a few bits I found were quite muffled.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was just a deliberate choice to make a sort of confusing concept sort of slightly harder to
Another
understand.
bit they did as well, and we're sitting there, it was Stacey pointed it out, was there was one or two bits, like when they were in the container and they were waiting for time to go backwards
Yeah.
for them, and there was just a couple of really hard cuts.
Oh, yeah.
There was a couple of them. After you pointed that out, I noticed.
But other than that, everything was shot so... Again,
The
with
cinematography was beautiful.
with his usual kind of...
He's got this way of making things that exist today look epic and sci-fi, like the ships going past the wind turbines.
It's just a joy to watch, you know. Like, I mean, they have these weird sequences, like, let's just randomly go sailing on these boats, and it's just this epic...
How cool are those boats?
I know, right? What an impractical way to sail, though. Like,
know.
to turn one way, you have to run across to the other side of the boat and steer it from that side. I've seen those boats before,
Yeah.
but I mean, let's face it, the film was basically John David Washington doing a bunch of pull-ups on various boats throughout.
And then doing them backwards. The bits where they had his time stream inverted,
Yeah.
and they had him and so many people moving in opposition to what's going around them, like they're going against
Yeah.
the flow of time. Whether that was done in CGI or they just practiced the hell out of walking and running backwards, I do not know, but
Definitely looked like they did it once or twice at certain points, and I think that helped at the moment where it first happened.
yeah.
For you to kind of get used to it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And it made for some really fucking weird looking fights. Like that fight was epic. Where it was just the forward guy and the backwards guy fighting. Fuck me, it was so cool. It definitely needs a second watch. There's bound to be loads of little details we've missed.
Yeah,
But I can't recommend it enough. Even if you end up coming out not liking it, it's still worth a watch because it's such a mindfuck. And I just enjoyed having my mind fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
I just enjoy it when films don't just spoon feed you.
yeah.
And you have to kind of figure it out as you go.
But yeah, good film. Nolan has smashed it again, in my opinion, certainly. I can tell you loved it.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
We live in a twilight world, Macintosh.
We do live in a twilight world.
There's no friends at
And there's
dusk.
no friends at dusk. So go see it.
Yeah.
Hedgehog.
How long were you trying to figure that out in your head before you said it?
Started the fucking Twilight Dusk thing, it just jumped into my head.
I'm going to play this backwards to see if it works.
See if it actually works. So go see it.
Yeah.
Hedgehog. Go see it.
Now, full cuff.